everyone, and welcome back to Tarot Tuesdays on Life Crystallized, where I use the cards to help you plan and prepare for your week ahead. Now, today is the second to last Tuesday in December 2019. So, being as that we are quickly approaching the end of this year, I want to talk about what you guys can do to plan and prepare for next year. So this is going to be a it's going to be a multi-part series that is going to focus on the entire year of 2020. So today what we're going to do is do a spread for the entire year of 2020. I'm going to be pulling, or I have pulled, and we'll get into it, 13 cards for 2020. So we have one card that is going to be the main focus of 2020. And then we have 12 more cards that is going to give you a focus for each month. Next week, for the last week of 2019, the last week in December, which actually will be New Year's Eve, we are going to do a spread for the month of January. So we're going to refer back to today's reading. We're going to refer back to the yearly reading and the card that was pulled for January 2020. Next week, I'm going to do a spread for the month of January that is going to be based on the card that was pulled in this reading for January. So that may sound like a lot, but you will be able to follow along and understand exactly what I'm saying as we go along, as we get started today and as we continue this series next week and for the next 12 months. So my goal is to really have you guys focused and have a plan of action that is going to help you achieve your goals in 2020. Now, keep in mind, this is a general reading. Some of it may apply, some of it may not. But if you are at all interested in getting a more personalized reading, a more personalized plan for the year, then be sure to book a reading with me at lifecrystallized.com. You can find the link to my website and all that stuff in the description box below. So if you want a more specific, more personalized plan for you for the new year, then be sure to book a reading. But we're going to go ahead and get started with the general reading for the collective for 2020. So let's start with the year. And the card for the year is Six of Cups reversed. So this year, 2020, you guys may be doing a lot of reflecting, a lot of thinking back to what has come. Now, 2019 was a big year for a lot of you. I've seen a lot of you in my social media feeds, in real life, and just in general. I know 2019 for a lot of people was a big year in terms of starting new ventures, whether it was in business, career, or love, relationships. A lot of you had a lot of big changes this year. A lot of you have begun to make progress on some big goals this year. So 2020 is going to be a year where you guys are really going to be kind of reflecting back and doing some reevaluation of things that went well this year, things that you want to improve on, and just really kind of keeping in mind things that went well and things that didn't go so well, areas that you can improve on, areas that you need to work on, some of your weaknesses. So I feel like 2020 for you guys, you're going to continue to make progress on those goals that you have really started to take action on in 2019, but you're going to be making progress, making steps, and really kind of approaching next year by reflecting on how this year went and really trying to figure out what lessons you guys learned from 2019 and really capitalizing on the things that you have learned, really using that information to propel you into the next step. So let's talk about January 2020. And if I can get the card up, then you've got Ace of Pentacles. So January for 2020, you guys are going to be focused on really building the foundation for that wealth building. So 2019 was kind of a year where you guys were really getting things off the ground and really kind of putting that framework together. 2020, January 2020, you guys are going to, again, continue to capitalize on those gains, that growth that you experienced in 2019, but really adding to that foundation. So you guys have the framework built, and that is kind of what you've done in 2020. In January, you guys are going to start to add some structure to that framework. You're going to continue to build upon that foundation so that 2020, you can continue to build, you can continue to grow, and do that from a really solid base. So January is going to be all about continuing to make sure that that base, that framework that you guys started to create in 2019, you're going to continue to make sure that is solid, that is firm, and you guys have a secure foundation from which to continue to build on in 2020. February. What is February looking like? 5 of Pentacles. So January is all about securing that foundation, continuing to build on it, to continue to add to that framework, and making sure that you have that solid foundation. January, you guys are really going to perhaps feel like, because again, January, you're focusing on the foundation, you're focusing on that framework. February is going to have you guys in a place, in a position where, because you haven't begun to see that it still doesn't look like anything, right? So if you're building, let's think about it as we're building a house. You have the studs up, right? You have the outline, the frame of the house, but you don't have any walls up. You don't have any flooring in or any of that. So February is going to leave you guys feeling like you're not doing enough, or that you're never going to accomplish this goal. You're never going to get where you want to be, because you really still can't see the finished picture. This house is really still just looking like a bunch of wooden boards. It doesn't look like a house because there's no other components to the house in it yet. So you're really going to be feeling like in February, like all of this work has been for nothing. Like you're not getting anywhere. You're not making any progress, which is not really the reality, but you guys really might be feeling kind of drained. And really, if we look at the image in the Five of Pentacles and think about February in terms of the month, in terms of the season, you guys are really going to be kind of in the middle of those winter blues. You're going to be actually physically, for a lot of you guys in the northern United States area, it is winter, right? So you guys are literally going to be feeling that cold and everything that comes along with that, like those winter blues, sad, seasonal, affective disorder, where you're really just feeling kind of emotionally, physically drained and exhausted. You're not getting that sunlight that you're used to getting in the warmer months. And just overall, you guys are going to kind of be in a dark place in February and just kind of feeling like you're not making any progress, like all of this is for nothing, and kind of like a woe is me attitude, right? So, March. What does March have in store for you guys? Five of Swords. So, March, you guys are kind of still coming out of that dreariness, that feeling of overwhelm that you guys were feeling in February. But you're going to begin to kind of figure out what your next steps will be. So this Five of Swords, you guys are starting to pick up those pieces. You guys are starting to collect those resources, the tools that you need in order to take it to the next level. So you guys are beginning to come out of that, the winter blues. You guys are beginning to come out of that feeling of defeat, the feeling of overwhelm, and you guys are beginning to create a plan. And that is the energy of March, which is the beginning of spring. So you guys are beginning to bounce back to life. You guys are beginning to get back into the swing of things and begin to pick up that momentum, begin to pick up that steam again, and get in a place where you're ready to continue to put in that hard work. And April, Page of Swords, reversed. So April, in March, you guys started to put these pieces together. You're starting to collect your resources. You're kind of beginning to regroup and rebound from the sadness, from the depression, from the overwhelm of February. In April, you guys you have these tools, you're beginning to formulate this plan, and you are ready to embark on that journey. You guys are this page, this beginner that is starting this journey. So you guys have a plan, you're beginning to put those pieces together, but you're still not quite sure, you're still not quite ready to take those steps. So I feel like you're still going to be in the planning and researching and learning phase. April for you guys is going to be all about learning. So you've been laying the foundation down in January. In February, you guys might be feeling like you've taken a step back, or that you're going backwards rather than forwards. You're going to start to pick that momentum up again in March. And then in April is really going to be a time for learning, for researching, for really getting ready to put that plan, or creating that plan that you guys are going to begin to implement for the next quarter. April will be the beginning of the second quarter of the year. So that first quarter is kind of all about getting yourself together, getting your mind in the right space. And this second quarter, you guys are starting out by beginning to really start to put those plans to paper, to really start to see exactly where it is you need to go. That is April. Now May, you guys have the Page of Cups. So in April, you guys are beginning to do that research, learn the skills that you need to learn, and you guys really are kind of seeing what needs to be done. In May, you guys are going to be kind of continuing to build on that plan, really beginning to kind of feel the cups is all about emotions and really that kind of energy. So you guys are really beginning in May to really feel this energy, feel this plan coming together. So the first quarter is really more about, like, we've got the pentacles and that swords energy, right? So you guys are really kind of in a really grounded and really intellectual kind of logistically planning, really thinking logically about this. And you're really all in the mind. You're all in your mind in the first quarter. In May, you guys are beginning to have that passion. You guys are really beginning to feel in your heart, in your soul, that things are coming together. So those feelings that you were kind of lacking, that you were missing in February, those like depressive kind of getting down on yourself type feelings, you guys are beginning to come out of that. And in May, you guys are really kind of feeling great about this. Your plan is coming together. You're beginning to see that vision, and you guys are really beginning to feel like, all right, I've got this. It's coming together. It's going to happen. In June, you guys have got Seven of Wands. So in June and May, you guys are beginning to feel like, yes, I've got this. Things are under control. I know where I'm going. I can see the vision. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. In June, you guys are going to be taking action on those plans that you guys have been putting together in the first and part of the second quarter. In June, you guys are really starting to do that work. You guys are starting to take that action. But I am freezing. So, okay, my video just kind of skipped a little. So I'm not exactly sure when it started, but I'm going to just go back a little bit. So in May, you guys are really starting to feel like things are coming together. The first part of the year was all about planning and laying the foundation. In June, you guys are really starting to take action. You guys are starting to put this plan into action and really beginning to take those steps that you need in order to achieve this goal. However, actually being in the middle of it and beginning to take those actions is going to kind of leave you guys feeling overwhelmed, in the sense that you're going to be feeling like everything is against you. Like the actions that you're beginning to take may not exactly be working out the way you envisioned it. So you're going to be feeling like all of this planning that you guys had done in the beginning of the year was like kind of for nothing, because it's all falling apart, which is not the case. Things may not be unfolding exactly as you thought they would. It may not be happening according to your vision, but things are happening exactly the way they should be happening. Things are unfolding according to the divine plan. Not your plan, but the divine plan. So in June, when you guys are really feeling like you're being attacked and nothing is going right, just remember that you guys are being put in a position for things to work out for your greater good. And in order for that to happen, the divine needs to step in and the divine needs to take over. And that is who or what is in control. Not you, because you cannot see everything. You cannot see all the kind of behind the scenes actions and things that are being worked out in your favor that don't make sense now, but will by the time you guys get to the end of this journey. That is June. July. Four of Cups. Reversed. So, in June, you guys are feeling like, I've made this plan, I'm doing all this work, and nothing is going the way I wanted it to go. So in July, that is really going to put you guys in a position, in a situation where you are absolutely feeling like, you know what? Since nothing is going the way I planned on it going, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, you guys are putting your hands up and just deciding to do nothing. Like, I'm tired of fighting. I am tired of struggling. I'm done. And July is going to leave you guys really kind of feeling like you're ready to give up. But remember that the universe is offering you this cup. The universe is giving you so much more than what you feel you've lost. Those losses that you guys took in the beginning of the year, in February through June, those things that didn't work out, that have left you feeling completely defeated and overwhelmed, didn't work out for a reason. And the universe is extending something bigger, better, and greater. But you guys are just being too stubborn right now to see that. And that is the energy of July. That is where you guys will kind of be with things in terms of achieving this goal. In August, Nine of Wands. So, in July, again, June, July, you guys feel like you've been fighting. Nothing is going the way it should be going. You're completely fed up and overwhelmed and just ready to give up. In August, you guys are back in the fight. It's still going to be a struggle. It's still not going to be exactly the way you thought it was going to be. It's not going to be going according to whatever these plans were that you guys made in, what is this? January, February, March and April. Whatever those plans were that you guys were creating in March and April, those tools you were gathering, it is not going to go exactly as you envisioned it would when you created those plans. But in August, You guys are ready to get back into that fight, and it's not going to be easy. It is going to be a fight. It is going to be a struggle, but you guys are going to have like some renewed energy and really be ready to get back on that horse and take another swing at it. It may leave you exhausted, and it may leave you just really drained, but it will be worth it in the end. September, the star. So you are beginning to see that light at the end of the tunnel in September. You guys are finishing off the third quarter on a high note. So things are not unfolding as you expected. Things are not going exactly according to the plan you created. But in September, you guys are beginning to see this plan that the divine had and why things unfolded the way they did in the previous 8 months. You guys are beginning to understand that Goddess is working in your favor, and she is making things happen exactly as they should, so that you can be the best you, so that you can reach this goal in a way that serves your greatest and highest good. And you guys are beginning to see and feel and know and understand that in September. October, you got the King of Wands reversed. So in October, you guys are, again, in September, you are beginning to see why the plan is unfolding the way it is, why things are happening the way they are happening. In October, you guys are really feeling kind of refreshed and rejuvenated and re-inspired because of what September has revealed to you. So in October, you guys are really embodying that King of Wands energy. You guys are ready to finish off 2020 on a high note. You guys have a renewed vigor, a refreshed sense of action, and you are ready to just end the year off with a bang. You're beginning to see and understand the plan as the divine has created it for you. And you guys are ready and excited to just really do whatever you need to do in order to finish this year off strong. November, Two of Pentacles. So you guys are seeing how the plan is unfolding in your greatest and highest good. You guys are really taking that action that you need to take to finish the year off strong. In November, things are starting to balance out. All of this kind of frenetic and imbalanced energy where you've kind of been like really starting the year off on a low note, going into kind of a confused or really like combative, defensive phase in the middle of the year. Now you guys are really coming into the end of the year and really beginning to feel and understand why you went through what you went through in the beginning of the year. And in November, you guys are beginning to feel the balance. You guys are beginning to see how things are crystallizing, and you guys are really beginning to relax and understand and know that everything is working out exactly as it should. And you guys are really beginning to come to terms with that and be at peace with that. And finally, December 2020, Seven of Cups reversed. So you guys have put in all of this work all year, working towards this goal, really continuing to capitalize on the success that you guys saw in 2019. You guys are ending 2020 with choices and options beyond what you can envision now at the end of 2019. So 2020, the end of 2020, in December, your options, your choices are going to really be unlimited. And you guys are really going to find yourself in a place where you're unsure. You have so many choices available. You have so many options that all seem really great that you guys are going to end the year feeling kind of overwhelmed and unsure of what the next step is. You guys are going to be unsure of which direction to go in because all of this work that you have put in all year is beginning to bear fruit to the point where you're not going to be sure which tree to go to first. Do you want apples or oranges or strawberries or lemons? What is it that I want to pick first? What do I want to harvest first? And that's where you guys are going to be ending 2020 in December of 2020, which is really, it's going to be in the moment probably feel like a difficult place to be. You might be feeling overwhelmed and just so confused, but it really is, when you look at it, a wonderful place to be because it means that all of this hard work, all of this strain and fighting that you guys went through in the beginning and the middle of the year has paid off. It has put you guys in a position where you have unlimited choices. What you do next is really up to you. So you guys are going to find yourself in a place where you might have to really take a step back in order to figure out and in order to connect, to tap into that inner knowing, in order to tap into those divine messages before you make a decision, so that you really go with the choice, with the decision that is in your greatest and highest good. So that is the overall forecast for the year for 2020. When I post next Tuesday, so next Tuesday's Tarot Tuesday reading will be a January reading, a reading for the month of January. So we will be talking about this Ace of Pentacles and what you guys can do, what you guys can focus on in January 2020 in order to create, to build, to continue to expand on the foundation that you began creating in 2019. What can you do in January 2020 to continue to flesh out that framework, continue to add stability to that foundation that you guys have begun to create? So that is what we will be talking about next Tuesday on Tarot Tuesdays. If you found this reading helpful, if it has you excited and ready to tackle this new year and achieve growth beyond your wildest dreams, then please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Life Crystallized on YouTube. Or if you're listening to the podcast, then leave a great 5-star review in Google Podcasts or iTunes or wherever it is you are listening to me so that other people can find me. And if you feel like this reading began to touch on some things that you've been feeling, but you want more insight, you want to delve a little deeper, you want to get more personal and have this really tailored to you and your needs, then book a reading with me at lifecrystallized.com and we can begin to create your plan. So again, thank you so much for watching or listening, and I will see you back next week Tuesday for another episode of Tarot Tuesdays here on Life Crystallized. Bye.